fourth selection in the first round of the 2009 first-year player draft, the Pittsburgh Pirates select Jorge Sanchez, a catcher from Boston College, Chester Hill, Massachusetts. With the second selection in the first round of the 2010 first-year player draft, the Pittsburgh Pirates select Jamison Tyon, a right-handed pitcher from the Woodland Hills High School, Woodlands, Texas. The Baltimore Orioles have the next pick, and they are now on the clock.
If you want to know a little about Tyon, he gave up 11 runs on a much-anticipated pitching duel with fellow Rice recruit John Sims in mid-March. His next outing, he threw a 19-strikeout no-hitter. So he's got the right mentality to bounce back even if you touch him. 99-mile-an-hour heat, guys.
I'll tell you what, that ball explodes out of his hand. You know, and you can see right here just the motion on the video that you're looking at right now. And he's got that nasty breaking pitch to go with it. I think he's more advanced than most high school kids are going to be at this stage, as from what I've been able to see with him so far.
He really projects as a guy, if healthy and fully developed, as a front-of-the-rotation starter. They're one of these guys that you look at every fifth day that can match up with somebody else's number one, take the ball 34, 35 times. He's built for it, 200-plus innings.
And you understand, building pitching in an organization, you build fastest with pitching. And Pittsburgh did not, as I said, they did not have a lot of power arms in that organization. If you remember when Bobby Cox took over the Braves, he said it takes about 7 years to really build an organization. Well, he was exactly right. He had the pitching first, though. Glavine, he traded for Smoltz, Avery. They end up winning in '91. John Schuerholz does a great job with the players around. Then Chipper and the rest of the players started coming 2 years later. This is what Pittsburgh's trying to do.
With the first selection of the 2011 first-year player draft, the Pittsburgh Pirates select Garrett Cole, right-handed pitcher from UCLA. The Seattle Mariners have the next pick, and they are now on the clock.
So there you have it. The big 6'4", 220-pound future ace from Santa Ana, California. Garrett Cole goes number one. Back in '08, the Yankees drafted Garrett with the 28th overall pick. He never negotiated with the Yanks, as he was determined to attend UCLA, where he flourished in 3 years. In 2010, he struck out 153 in 123 innings. This season was his least successful of his 3 college years, going 6-8 with an ERNIE over 3. He did strike out 119 and walking just 24 in over 114 innings, but he's a true power arm who sits between 96 and 98 miles per hour. The Pirates go with Garrett Cole at number 1. Harold, you thought this was going to happen. What kind of pitcher is he in your eyes?
You can't pass up that arm. I love him, and I think he's the type of guy that can adapt and make some changes. He did that this year. So let's go back and break him down, get a look at what Garrett Cole looks like if you haven't seen him before. Here's a breakdown of him. You know, I'll take you through this season. Yes, he's got the overpowering fastball. He's going to bust the clock at 98 miles an hour and be able to go after the guy and do different things like that. You saw Roger Clemens right there. Roger was a dominant pitcher in the college ranks as well. But he's a guy that's going to throw 98. He's going to throw a breaking ball. And the other thing is he changed his arm slot a little bit. So when you do that, you're able to continue to maintain that velocity. This is why he becomes the number 1 guy.
When I look at him, again, his grades are top shelf. And I think the only thing that has been missing with Cole has been his ability to command the baseball. Again, when you look at it, the 8 fastball, this guy can throw the ball up to 98, 99 miles an hour. I think he's going to pitch better at 95, 96 with late life. He holds his velocity deep into the games. He's got a power slider. Changeup's a little firm. The big issue with Cole is going to be the ability to command the baseball. And again, I think he's got a little bit of roughness, a little head whack in his delivery that can be fixed. But again, this is a big, durable, strong kid that you want to throw into your system and go.
Peter, are we worried at all that he was 6-8, that this was his worst statistical season of his college career, and now he's the number 1 pick?
No, because of the way the Pirates looked at it, he is that horse. And the Pirates have got some pretty good young pitching, but he is a guy that you look at and you say, well, that body, even if he doesn't end up winning 20 games, he's going to end up being able to pitch 220 innings a year for a long time. And that's really important because, again, as we mentioned earlier, when you're going from pitching once a week to pitching every 5th day through the minor leagues and it gets the grind in the 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, you've got to have a guy who's got enough endurance to be able to handle it.
With the 8th selection of the 2012 first-year player draft, the Pittsburgh Pirates select Mark Appel, a right-handed pitcher from Stanford University, Stanford, California. The Miami Marlins have the next pick, and they are now on the clock.
So it's Mark Appel. He's being labeled as the complete package. 3 up-and-down years at Stanford. Appel was mostly used as reliever his freshman year, became the ace his sophomore year, but finished with a below 500 record, leading up to this season where the tall right-hander began to dominate the competition. His ERA went down to 2.27. Strikeouts per 9 went way up. Opponent's batting average barely cracked the Mendoza line. This is a tall right-hander, 6'5", 215, much like Cole, much like Tyon. How's he different from those two guys I just named?
Not much. I mean, again, you've got an upside, high-ceiling guy, and there's no way that Appel could have continued to slide. He's too good of a talent, too close to the big leagues. They're going to put Appel in with Cole, in with Tyon, and again, when you look at the Pirates, they are loading up. They are putting together a young, powerful rotation to go with the guys that they have up here now. It's a good move to take the best guy on the board, and that's what they did here. Whether they wanted a position player or whether they wanted a pitcher, this was the best guy on the board.
With the 9th selection of the 2013 first-year player draft, the Pittsburgh Pirates select Austin Meadows, a center fielder from Grayson High School, Loganville, Georgia. The Toronto Blue Jays have the next pick, and they are now on the clock.
Well, recently the Pirates have been using their first-round picks on pitching. Not this time. With the 9th overall pick, they take this Under Armour All-America alumni.
My name is Austin Meadows. I'm from Grayson, Georgia, and I play outfield. I think I model my game after the most is probably Josh Hamilton. I like watching him play. I just really like his swing and the way he goes out there and plays hard. Probably the most embarrassing song on my iPod is probably Wide Awake by Katy Perry. Off the field, I'm not playing baseball. I like to go fishing. I'm an outdoors kind of guy. You know, I like to hang out with my family, hang out with my girlfriend, you know, just kick back and relax with them.
John Hart, I know you're a huge fan of Austin Meadows.
Yeah, I really am. Again, this is it's a good body, 6'3", 200. Right now, he's playing center field. He might have the ability to move to a corner. He might be able to stay in center field. I'm not sure. But this guy's a left-handed hitter. He's what they look like. Again, if you've noticed the Pirates over the last few years, they've drafted a lot of pitching, Tyon, Garrett Cole. The last real position player they drafted was McCutcheon. So this is pretty good follow-up here. So again, I like to pick. This is an upside player that I think if he can play center, he'll be a power hitting center fielder. If he goes to the corner, I think we'd use a little bit of a Jay Bruce kind of a comp. Pretty good.
With the 24th selection of the 2014 first-year player draft, the Pittsburgh Pirates select Cole Tucker, a shortstop from Mountain Point High School, Phoenix, Arizona. The Oakland Athletics have the next pick, and they are now on the clock.
Now this is a surprise. According to MLB.com, he was ranked 67th in this draft class. He goes number 24 overall, switch hitting shortstop, plus speed, and dare I create my own category here, plus energy. This dude is a field rat, high baseball IQ, makes up for any lack of tools. Hit .404 with 5 homers this season for the Mountain Point Pride, but power will never be Tucker's calling card.
Tell you what, Greg, I saw an In the Life with Tucker Cole that was produced by Under Armour or one of those companies, and it was amazing. I got to know this young man. I fell in love with him, and he's supposed to go to Arizona State. I don't think he gets there now. But what a personality. You got a chance to see him, see his friends, what he's about, who he hangs out with. He hopped in his car, showed that he couldn't open the door. He can buy a car now, you know, but it was just a great story and a great way to get to know this young man.
Yeah, before this pick, I was looking and I said, boy, there haven't been any guys, you know, we talk about Schwarber at 4, but he was a first rounder with this this is the first guy who was like, wait, what? But, I saw Cole Tucker play at the National High School Invitational at USA Baseball, and that tournament helped put him on the map as more of a guy. And I think you don't draft for need in the first round, but the Pirates are awfully thin up the middle of the infield. They haven't been able to develop shortstops too often, and they've had trouble finding guys who can stay there. Cole Tucker can play shortstop, and he's going to stay at shortstop, and he is the epitome of a baseball rat. He is going to spend his entire life on the diamond trying to get better.
Pirates fans will be happy with this. You guys had him ranked 67th, Baseball America 84th, and he goes at number 24.
No, I don't think they'll be happy with it. But the Pirates have always done what they're going to do. They took Tony Sanchez in the first round when they didn't like what they saw. So there are some high school players that could have been available here, some arms, and they've done that before. But they've also got that extra pick a little bit later on.
Good point.
Some of those high school arms may filter down. Let's see what they do with that next pick.
Cole Tucker, number 24. Harold likes him. That's big.
The 19th selection of the 2015 MLB Draft, the Pittsburgh Pirates select shortstop Kevin Newman from the University of Arizona in Tucson, Arizona. The 22nd selection of the 2016 MLB Draft, the Pittsburgh Pirates select Will Craig from Wake Forest University. The St. Louis Cardinals will have the next selection.
After flirting with the ACC Triple Crown last year as a hitter, watching him, he can rake. He did have 9 saves as the Wake Forest closer, ERA around 3.5. He does have a fastball that touches 94. But this season, he hit 379 with 16 homers, 66 RBIs. Will Craig to the Pirates.
Let's talk a little bit more about Will Craig. Right now, you look at him as a third baseman at Wake Forest, but I think in the professional ranks, it might translate a little bit more to the other side of the diamond at first base. But watching him take ground balls, I like his hands, and I specifically like the backhand a little bit, and I think that's going to translate well at first base with being able to pick balls in the dirt. But right-handed power, I think what you see out of this guy is what you're going to get. So let's see how he progresses through the minor leagues. It's going to be the bat that plays for Will.
So we like him as a hitter, clearly, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I do think he's got to move to first base. I do think there's some limited athleticism here. He reminds me a little bit of a C.J. Cron type player with the Angels. I do think there's more power than hitability, but this kid has performed everywhere he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, he's swung the bat. He is. If you're a team that values analytics, you're going to like him. Draws walks. You look at the on-base percentage right there. He's got power. It will play at the next level, I think. It may be more strength than bat speed right now. He's going to have to watch the body and work on conditioning. The Pirates have done a good job with that. So, we'll move over to first base eventually.
The 12th selection of the 2017 MLB Draft, the Pittsburgh Pirates select Shane Baz, a right-handed pitcher from Concordia Lutheran High School in Tomball, Texas. The Miami Marlins have the next selection.
Shane Baz, the best high school righty in the state of Texas this year. After a junior season where his ERA was barely over 1, he continued to shred the competition this year. And
Were
Shane
those
Baz,
cheers for Mayo because he got one there?
Yeah, I think they were.
Finally got one.
He's in your MLB draft spotlight.
Shane Baz, right-handed pitcher and infielder, and I'm from Cypress, Texas. I'd say that I'm a world-class ping pong player. I could take everyone here, definitely. I have a lot of superstitions. Definitely can't step on the line. Don't touch the rosin bag. I have to have my belt like as tight as it can go.
With the 10th selection of the 2018 MLB Draft, the Pittsburgh Pirates select Travis Swaggerty, an outfielder from the University of South Alabama in Mobile, Alabama. The Baltimore Orioles have the next selection.
Travis Swaggerty goes to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Again, hard to imagine a talent like this went undrafted out of high school. Great combination of speed and power. And Dan O'Dowd, you're a big fan of this kid.
Yeah, I love this kid. He's got plus hit tool. He's got instincts for the game. And I believe he's only going to get better as he gets more reps in professional baseball.
Some people think maybe an Austin Meadows type of talent, because that was how Austin Meadows was described.
Yeah, I had him more as a player comp of Darren Erstad. I mean, he really reminded me of that kind of player and the impact that Darren Erstad had on the Angels for years to come.
Okay, college numbers, 296, 13 home runs, stole 9 bags. Last season had a huge year, 356 with 60 RBIs. Jim Callis, who's standing by. I guess that's the big question. You know, when you see a guy have a monster sophomore year, junior year is good, you're wondering what kind of player is he, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think teams felt like he maybe swung and missed a little bit more than they would have liked this year, but you're still talking about the guy who has the best all-around tools in this year's college crop. There are a lot of college hitters usually, not necessarily college athletes. This guy's a college athlete. He's got a chance. You know, I think the power is probably the least appreciated tool, but he has sneaky power too. I mean, you could be talking about a 2020 player here with a pretty good chance to stay in center field. You know, does he need to tone down the aggressiveness a little bit? He does, although he does have the patience to draw walks as well. I really like this pick. I told you he was going to come off the board soon. I didn't realize that soon.
Oh, you had a feeling. Travis Swaggerty, 10th overall for the Pirates, and he is in our MLB draft spotlight.
My name is Travis Swaggerty. I'm an outfielder, University of South Alabama. If there's a major leaguer I'd model my game after, it'd probably be Charlie Blackmon. I love cooking. Like, my roommate and I experiment a lot cooking. I like Umbrella by Rihanna. That's probably my embarrassing song. I love golfing on PlayStation, but I can't actually golf in real life at all. I want to be remembered by playing the game the right way and doing everything for my team.
Travis Swaggerty over the summer, he played for Team USA. He hit .328, named a preseason All-American as well.